Welcome, Survivor, to this super electrifying episode of 7 Days to Die. And we are here in Alpha 19.2 B4, the next 7 Days to Die version. And if you know me, you know that I like to make really long, in-depth videos. If you enjoy that, make sure you have subscribed to my channel. Go check in the bottom right to make sure you are subscribed. It's free after all, and it really does support me. But I'm going to do something that is very uncharacteristic of me. I'm going to make a short and brief video. And if you like that, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Anyway, this is an Alpha 19.2 version update. I'm going to go through the patch notes of the new update. And there are two things in play here. Obviously, there's the stripper and there's the electric fences. Which one do you think I'm going to be covering? And as a small hint, I'm going to call this the Fizzle update. But let's go look at the patch notes and you will see what I mean. So a new version of the game dropped and I was really excited. So I went to look at the patch notes and fixed. Electric fence wires dropped to the bottom of the pole after unloading the chunk or FO point. What? That's it? I mean, a week or two of testing the previous one, which really didn't have anything really important. And we get a fix to the electric fence posts that have been in the game. Well, the problem has been in the game for a long time, a year and a half. And this is what we get. So before I go into the criticism of that, so you might recall you make your fences and where you have your fence post on one side and it actually connects to the bottom of the next fence post here after a chunk load. Sometimes, doesn't always happen. It should be obviously from the tip to the tip. Sometimes it goes down to the bottom and you might wonder, wait. If I'm in 19.2 and it's been fixed, how can it still be broken? Actually, it's not. This is a trick of the eye. I had to actually cheat here. And this is why I have the blocks in the way. Trick to make it look like it's actually broken, because it's not. They have fixed it so that this should not happen anymore. So what should be happening, it should be always correctly like this. If you've been making bases, you'll know that sometimes this would happen where the chunk reloads and the electric fence wires have been moved to a diagonal instead, and that causes problems for some builds because it means it goes down into the ground, for instance. So to exemplify, it could look like this if you are unlucky. And that's a problem because it means, let's say you're covering this pathway with electric fence. However, this area is not being covered because it's going down to the diagonal connecting to the bottom. Yes, again, I'm doing the same thing here. I'm actually cheating just to let you see how it looks, because it should always be like this. And now this has been fixed. And that's a really good fix. Don't get me wrong. It's good that they fixed it. They should have fixed it back in Alpha 18 or 17 or whatever, 16, whatever we started seeing it. So it's good that they finally fixed it. However, 19.2 seems to get worse and worse. Sorry, I mean, I don't want to rant, but it is a criticism to the fun pimps. If you're making patches, don't put in things that are so insignificant that it doesn't really matter. Wait until there's something significant. We saw that with 19.2 B3 where they put in a bunch of things, the Steel Series Game Sense, cool and everything, didn't really make sense. There was some graphical optimization, but nothing really worthwhile. And now, a week or two later, you have a fix for the fence post. Wait with it until there's something substantial. And if you never have anything else substantial in 7 Days to Die Alpha 19, then wait until Alpha 20, because it just doesn't seem to make sense. From a development and software release standpoint, every time you release something, it takes man-hours, man-days of testing, regression testing, proper functional testing of all the features, not just the new stuff, but even the old stuff to make sure everything is working. Even worse, the whole community now has to test it out to see, well, was this the only change you made? Did you change or break something else? Because that has happened in the past. If you're running a server that was using the latest experimental, suddenly you now have to take a backup, you have to update the server, and you still have to test it out because, well, you don't know what's going on. So it's really extra time that everyone has to spend on something that is so inconsequential that it shouldn't be its own patch. For players just doing single player, it might not make a big difference. But I've been in software development for so many years now, and I see this over and over again, and it's just poor practice. Don't do that. Go for substantial patches, add something that is worthwhile to the players and the users, and make everyone happy. This one, sorry, good change, but I will definitely call it the Fizzle update. Well, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think that they should release these really small patches? even if it's just one thing they've fixed. Because you could imagine having 5 different patches for 5 small things that they've fixed. I personally disagree. I think this is the wrong way of doing it. But you tell me in the comment section. Maybe you have a different experience and different view than I have. Not saying I'm always the right one, but from my experience in software development, this is not the best practice. But I'll see you again next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the Vedui community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.